Hello, and welcome to another episode of My 2 Cent. My name is Paul Amerson, and I will be giving you my 2 cent. So, because it's trending, today's topic is going to be child support. So, obviously, I'm not in the video like I usually am, but this individual, Nalia Girl 504, she does a really good job speaking on this subject. So, why am I doing a video on child support because it's trending? Basically, I pretty much started my 2 cent to deal with the disinformation of the world. I think I fall into the context of a conspiracy nut. I probably shouldn't say that, but I think I fall into that context. Excuse me. But it's not really it's not that I'm a conspiracy nut. It's just that I understand the craziness and the insanities that are going on in the world. A conspiracy nut, in my opinion, is someone that acknowledges something isn't right, but doesn't do enough of a detailed analysis to come to the conclusion to correctly address that issue. So they're not really crazy, it's just that they're not informed enough to truly understand what it is that they're trying to understand. So for me, the world that I've lived in as an African American male in America was never strange to me, because I knew what the adversities that I had to deal with were. I always knew what they were, and it was never like it's because of them or they. It's like sometimes Caucasians are racist, sometimes people just don't like you. I understand those variables. The problem that I always had was I couldn't understand why I was the only one that understood those variables. And it was because of the observation of the inherent wrongness of the world that I chose a different path. And choosing that different path put me in opposition to people that felt like when in Rome, do as Romans do. The whole point of my 2 cent is to basically, if we use the analogy of when Rome, do as the Romans do, then the goal of my 2 cent is to make everyone a better Roman, because betterment in general, the universal nature of betterment is better. It's always going to be better. And I'm going to play a little bit of this woman's video, and then I'm going to give you a detailed account of the adversities that I've been going through with my daughter with child support, and with her mother being the type of female that this female has described. And I'm not doing this out of hate or a need to get revenge or anything like that. It's just a matter of we are here, we want to be here, so how do we get from where we are to where we're trying to go? And it's a difficult thing to try to understand and comprehend. And with the experiences I've had, I feel like when I was going through the situation I'm going to show you, I always felt like I would have been able to address the issues if I had foreknowledge of them. So by putting this foreknowledge out, maybe it will help others be able to prevent these types of conditions before they arise in a more streamlined and more elegant manner, so that you won't wind up in the position that I wind up in. So I'm going to play her video, and then after her videos are done playing, you will see my videos. Now, for my videos, I'll do a quick introduction real quick. For the videos that I'm going to show, my ex is basically using child support to finance her way of life. And in doing so, she keeps me out of my daughter's life to protect her ability to continue to collect money from me. And no one cares. No one in the world cares that this one individual is doing that to me, because we don't worry about the individual problems. We just look at things on a collective level. So the videos is the way that I was trying to deal with that direct adversity on my own level, and the result of it being me getting winding up homeless on the street, and then later being completely kicked out of my daughter's life through a restraining order, a protection order, just through her lies and deceptions. So I'm gonna play this video, and after this video ends, it'll move into my videos. That's why this playlist is so long. So thank you for watching, and yeah, let's just get this started.
What's up, everybody? I'm back for another video. So I wanted to make a video and dedicate it to, my thoughts on child support. I've talked about this in my past videos. I've talked about it and argued with people on their videos about it. So I wanted to make a video and just dedicate it to what I think about child support. So for those of you that don't know, there's almost nothing I hate more in this world than child support. And it has nothing to do with wanting to see children go without. It has nothing to do with wanting to punish innocent children. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Child support is not designed to help children. Child support was designed so the government can get a little bit of piece of the pie from the parents, well, from the father, pretty much. It's so the government can take more money for a different reason, and it even though the majority of the money does go to the woman, the single mother, the government does take their piece out of it as well. And I believe if it wasn't for that, there would be no reason for the government to do it at all. It's not designed to help children. That's not the purpose of child support. If it truly was the purpose, then they would monitor where the money went, and they would make sure that the money is being spent on the child. Because I've seen time and time again, I've seen single mothers that I've personally known throughout the years that get child support from the fathers of their children only to spend the money on themselves or on their new boyfriend. And what I mean by themselves is their hair appointments, their nail appointments, their outfits, their accessories, basically so they could look good to go attract more men, to lay down with. It really does fund their promiscuous lifestyle, their reckless lifestyle. It does not benefit the children. I've seen single mothers get child support and government assistance, so they get all their bills paid, everything they need, and the little money they get from the father, they will still turn around and try to go get free school supplies and anything free that the government's given out to give to their children so they can spend the money on themselves. And I don't care what anybody says, I've seen this stuff, so you cannot tell me it doesn't happen. Another reason why child support is so wrong to me is the fact that it only is designed to punish the father. I just got finished watching this court show, I forgot which one, but there was a single mother on there putting the father of her child on child support. They were not married, they were just, screwing around, and she's over there smirking and laughing because the judge is handing down this harsh child support penalty on him, telling him you not only owe back, but you owe this. You need to have at least $200 on you right now or you're going to go to jail. The man had like $150 on him. They took it from him and they put him in jail. And the mother was over there cracking up laughing. I think she should have been put in jail for that. I was so pissed at that. It really, really drives me nuts to see women do that, because not once did that ass-white judge ask that girl, what kind of job do you have? What are you doing to contribute to the child you help make? It's not just men making these children. Women are choosing to lay down and make the children too. Women are just as at fault, because ladies, you're the one that gets pregnant. You're the one that has to incubate the child, deal with the medical expenses. You're the one who really gets stuck with the brunt of it, and then you have to give birth and you have the baby, and the man doesn't have to do all that, and that's not his fault. That's just the way we're designed. And women, knowing they can get pregnant and knowing that they would be the ones stuck with the child, still choose to be promiscuous and reckless with their bodies. And I've had about enough of it. People, if you agree with me, please take the time to write your state representatives. I'm doing that. It's a lot of work, yes, but we're never going to get this stuff changed if we don't fight against it. I know it's hard to fight against it because feminism is so big and organized, and like they're trying to censor anyone that talks about it on YouTube by demonetizing your videos, or next they're not even going to allow you to upload the stuff in the first place. But they're trying to take away the incentive, because if you're not going to be paid for it, it's hard to sit down and do this. You need better, it helps you get better camera equipment, better things that you need to give better quality videos and things like that. They're really coming after people on YouTube. They've demonetized several of my videos. I'm going to try to keep uploading them, and I am moving to other platforms, and I'll tell y'all about that later. But for now, please, if you don't want to do YouTube videos and speak out, because I know you have to deal with a lot of people on here that attack you and try to say this and that about you, but the truth is there's other ways you can fight against it. If like I said, write your representatives. We need to try to get people that agree with me that are against this stuff. We need to try to get better organized and try to fight against this crap, because it's completely out of control. I mean, think about it. Today, a woman can get pregnant and she can decide to murder the baby or to have the baby. The man has no say-so in that. How is that right? Like, I couldn't imagine a woman being pregnant for me, right? And that's my child, and her saying, I'm going to get an abortion. And I'm like, no, but that's murder. I don't agree with that. So I'm going to get an abortion. I couldn't imagine that. I don't know. That's got to be a harsh predicament to be in for a man. And if we're going to allow women to just be able to get an abortion no matter what the man says, the man can agree with it or not agree with it, and the woman can still do it. So how come we don't have something in place for men and women that are hooking up? How come the father can't just sign away his paternity rights? If a woman can just abort it or have it, and she gets to choose that, then how come a man can't choose to sign away his paternity rights? I think that's what we need to go for, okay, on that aspect as well. I think, and I'm not talking about people that are married. This is really for people that are just hooking up and things like that. If the woman can abort the baby or have the baby and the man has no say so, how come he can't sign away his paternity rights? If she doesn't have to be involved and she has the right to do what she wants, he should have that same right. It takes two to make a baby. Yes, us women incubate the baby and have the baby. I've had 2 children. I know how rough pregnancy is and childbirth. And even after childbirth, your body, you're never the same afterwards. I know that, but we can't punish men because we're angry about that, or that's our biological makeup. It has nothing to do with men. We're different from men, and we're not the same as men. We're not equal to men, okay? I will fight with anyone if they want to fight with me on that. Men and women are not equal. We're equally as important, but not equal. Both of us have our own duties and roles. And when we come together, we complement each other. We make the perfect team together. And unfortunately, we have, progressive feminists trying to rip apart the family unit. And I'm really getting sick of it. These feminists, they've gotten into political positions, and now the courts are punishing fathers. And ladies, if you're watching this and you're a single mother and you're doing the kind of things that I'm talking about, please take a second and think about this. Instead of being angry at my words and getting defensive, please think about this. If you love your children, okay, think about every time you look at your children, the father gave that child half his chromosomes. He has 23 chromosomes. We get 23 from each parent. Your child is half of that man, okay? He may look like him, he may act like him, but he has half of that man's genetic makeup. Think about that next time you want to punish the father. Take him to court and laugh when the judge, takes all his money from him. Because men, they have to pay the child support. They don't get to turn around and get government assistance. They don't get Section 8. They don't get EBT food stamps. They don't get their electric bills paid for them. They don't get gas assistance. They don't get free health care and free daycare. The woman gets all that. So the woman not only can get all that as a single mother, but she can also get child support. Okay? It's wrong. Think about all that stuff first. I don't know how you can sit there and do that to the father of your children. This is a person that you chose to lay down with at some point. And now you're attacking him like a vicious praying mantis. You're eating him alive. It's wrong. And we need to stop doing this. Us women that are against this, we need to fight against it. Okay, like I said, write your representatives, do YouTube videos, speak against it, spread the message, educate as many other women as you can. Because this bullshit needs to stop. It's wrong, okay? Like I said, remember this if you agree with child support, okay? It's not there to help children. These children are still not getting what they need. The mothers are being greedy and spending that money on their new boyfriends, their hair appointments, and everything that they want, while they get to turn around and claim benefits from the government on our tax money. It's wrong and it must stop. And I done had people on my older videos like telling me, oh, that's not true. You can't get gas assistance. Oh, they can't get this. They can only get that if they make this much money. It's bullshit. It varies by state. And I've lived in states and I've seen single mothers claim all those things that I just said. I knew one personally. She had Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid. Her children were on the Medicaid. Free daycare at Head Start. They call those places Head Start. We actually have them in Louisiana too. And the government was giving her gas assistance each week. Okay? She got to get a little check each week. Well, it was a little debit card and it said gas assistance. I saw it with my own eyes. And because she had a bunch of children from a bunch of different men, she did not work. And she got child support from each of the fathers. And she would have live-in boyfriends coming in and out of her house. Okay? So you can't sit there and tell me I'm making this up. I know what I saw. And I know what's going on. But this stuff is happening every day in almost every state, everywhere. And please stop leaving these racist comments on my videos about it's only black women that do this, or only Hispanic women, or this one and that one. Every race and every culture is doing this in America. No race and no culture is safe from the westernized way. When women come to our country, they end up getting sucked into the Western way of doing things. Okay? Being selfish, greedy, vain, and straight up crazy sometimes. So it's not about race. Oh, there's some cities where a larger amount of a certain race are doing this. Yes, but it just depends on what city you're in and how many of one race lives there. But you can also go to states where it can just be all white women doing it. It just depends on what state you're living in. But it has nothing to do with that. Every woman of every race in every culture is doing this, okay? So we need to stop being ignorant about that too and wake up to the facts. But I really have more to say about this, but I'm going to have to make another video about it. So like the video if you did, subscribe if you want to hear more. And again, check me out on Patreon. I had to start one, and YouTube is demonetizing a lot of my videos. So I did go ahead and take y'all advice a few videos ago and start the Patreon. And for those of you that have left me messages on there and pledges, I read them. Thank you so, so much. So sweet of you all. I love my fans. Thank you. I hope y'all had a happy Easter, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Channel 3, right?
Are you Paul?
I am.
Paul, what can I do for you today?
Okay, so I was here Tuesday, and I applied for benefits and a deferment grant. And in the process, somehow the worker decided to combine my information with Miss Webster's information because we're in the same household. The result is I can't afford to buy food, which means the money that I have in savings that's supposed to go to our rent is going to be food money.
Okay.
I'm not working, and I'm not making enough hours at work right now to sustain myself just on my income level.
Okay.
So the problem that I'm having is she basically just screwed everything up in my life.
She didn't screw everything up. You're required by law to be on the same.
I don't understand the law.
Because you have a child in common and you're living in the same home.
See, that's not telling me anything. All you're doing is basically saying that we made a decision.
No, we didn't make a decision. The federal government writes laws pertaining to
Right,
the
but
food assistance program.
why are-
You just disagree with the decision that we
No,
told
I don't
you.
understand the decision. If I could have someone explain the decision to me logically and rationally, instead of just saying this is what you're going to be subjected to.
That is logical and rational. That is federal law. I don't know what other explanation you need aside from that.
Do you know what the federal law is? Is there any way
Yes,
that
I do. I can read it to you word for word if you'd like me to.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
I would like the
Okay.
information so that I could call a hearing and stuff. So.
Okay, so I can send you a letter that has that entire passage of the
And
law.
how long
in it.
would it take for you to send me the letter?
I can send it out today.
Is it possible you could print the letter out? And
No,
then
because it's
just-
going to take me a little while to do it.
Okay.
Again, I mean, you're taking on something that you're not going to win. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, as long as you are living in the home with, even if you two aren't together anymore, and I mean, you two may not be together, but as long as you have a child in common under the age of 22 in the same home, and you're living with the mother of that child, then you're all required to be on the same food assistance case.
Right. But why am I on her food assistance case? Why am I not on my own food
Because
assistance
she was
case?
already open on food assistance.
But
so
I was
we-
also already open on food assistance.
Okay, so then we added
why
her
did-
to your case, or you
No,
to
I
her
was
case.
right. Why was I added to her case? Why is it that she wasn't added to my case? Why was I just automatically added to her case?
Because she's not the one that came into the report. I mean, and we can't just shut down her food without her authorization.
But you can shut mine down without my
We
authorization.
didn't shut you down, we added you to her case. So she's just got control of the card now.
Right. Why? Why don't I have control over my own ability to prepare meals for myself? That's what I wanted to know.
Okay, so you can discuss with her if she wants to make you head of household. And then therefore you would have the card.
But by what definition in the federal law does it state that she automatically becomes head of household? That's what I don't understand. Why was I completely just disregarded with my ability to sustain myself? Because I don't have any food stamp benefits. The problem is that if she chooses not to give me any money to feed myself, I can't afford to eat.
If she chooses,
puts me in a
if she
position-
chooses not to give you money to feed yourself,
Yeah.
then she is doing something illegal. Because
Right, she
you
is
are
doing
a third
something
mouth
illegal,
in the
but
household.
as a man, I have to address this issue in my household. So now I have to try to figure out how to force her to do something that she should be able to do. You want to sit there and not...
Well, I don't appreciate the fact that you use the word force
It is
with anybody.
force.
No, it's not forcing.
It is for...
You need
Okay.
to have an adult discussion with her.
See,
It's
that's the
not
problem.
forcing anyone to do anything.
That's the problem. We're making an assumption that there's going to be some level of cooperation in this relationship, and there's not going to be.
Well, you have a
don't
child-
live in a household with
I
me,
don't, but you have a
and
child in common.
I have to eat, and I'm trying to just...
I understand that. I'm
right.
certain. I'm empathetic to what you're telling me. Trust me, I am. But there are laws as they're written. I can't change those. I have to enforce those. That's
Right,
what
that's
I'm here
fine.
to do.
I don't have any problem with you enforcing the laws. I would like for you to educate me on the law so that I can challenge it.
Okay, so I said I would send you out a document
Okay.
that has that law written.
And you said that you can read the law to me?
I'm not going to do that word for word. I'll send you out a document. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
That's
I
fine.
will do that. And then once you have that,
I
if
want
you
to...
still disagree,
how do I go about applying for a hearing?
that's what you're going to need this before you apply for a hearing. And I'll send you a fair hearing document as well. Okay?
And how long will it take for me to have to wait for a fair hearing document when I don't have enough money to sustain myself or provide
I will send
food
out
for
a
myself?
document. It'll be sent out in the mail tomorrow. It should be to you no later than the 1st of next week, okay?
The first of next week?
Mm-hmm. So Monday or Tuesday.
So I have to go a whole week without food stamp benefits.
Okay,
And then-
you're telling me the same thing. I get the
Because-
situation that you're in, okay? I completely understand the situation that you're in. but
Isn't
we're
there a
not
way
gonna
that
be
I
able to
can
expedite
file
that.
for emergency assistance?
No.
So I don't qualify for emergency assistance
No.
as a single household?
No. You're living in the same household with the mother of your child.
So the only option is for me to falsify information and provide you
No,
guys
that
with
is not the
inaccurate
only
information
option.
so that I
If you
can...
falsify information,
It's
you're
a
committing
criminal
a
act.
federal offense,
Right.
and you'll be sent to prison.
Exactly.
So, nobody's telling you to falsify information.
But you're putting me in a position to
No,
where I
I
can't...
am not. If you choose to falsify information, that's your decision,
There's-
and I certainly have not given you any advice
I
to
don't
do so.
I just don't understand why I can't collect benefits of my own person without having
Because
to be
you were
added
living in the same
to
home
another
as the
person.
mother of your child.
And we're just going to assume that she's a good, honest, kind person.
Honestly, as terrible as this sounds, the federal government and the food assistance program doesn't care if she's a good, honest person.
That's kind of the problem.
Well, I mean, I
know,
know it sounds tough, but
the irony is that with the decision that was made, the apartment that we have, we probably won't be able to keep it now. So the next time I'm in this office, I'll be in here filing for food stamp assistance because I'm homeless. But we want to ignore that. We don't care about that part because the federal government made a law. And you're going to just sit there and do your job. You're not going to try to figure out how to help me in any way.
I just said I would send you the laws and you can file a fair
Exactly.
hearing. Okay?
So I'll survive and struggle for a week and then
No, you're just trying to give me an answer.
I'm
not gonna give you.
gonna pray to God and hope that we don't lose our apartment because I have to spend cash
Take care of yourself, Paul.
to do all that stuff. So have a nice
Take care of
day.
yourself, Paul.
Do you have my contact information in the system?
As long as you haven't changed it since last time.
Is the mailing? Can you use the PO box address to mail out the information for me, please?
I will look and see what address that we have on file.
I'd appreciate it before I leave.
5800 Northeast 34th Street, apartment 24.
No, I want to use the mailing address.
Okay, so then you can fill out a change of circumstance form, and then we can change your address.
The mailing. Okay. How do you have that form?
It's next 2 doors down in lobby C. Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of My02cent. As always, my name is Paul Amerson, and this is My02cent. This is another advertisement for the Bank of Paul Amerson, and I'm going to update you on my life. So that building that you're seeing edited into this video was the Department of Human Resources, DHCS or whatever. So basically, I'm going to recap on some of the things that's been going on in my life. Let's see. I moved back to Vancouver, Washington after issues with my ex and concerning me and her daughter, my daughter that I have with her, and her inability to just be a decent human being. So our relationship didn't work out. I'm the guy, so it's automatically my fault. And this video is going to basically show the level of how the corruption in our society works. Because what I just did, I was staying with my father. He's got a YouTube page, Oceros and Tapping Around My Eye. And me and him got into a really stupid debate about me wanting to learn how to dance, where he basically just accused me of wanting to be a white boy because I wanted to learn how to dance to electronic music. Instead of accepting that I wanted to do something the way I wanted to do it, he wanted to just basically tell me that I was trying to be white because I'm doing my best to survive in a society just like he's doing his best to survive in a society. He defines himself as as black, and he's Afrocentric, but he gets up every day and works hard for European credit. So that's a whole nother discussion. I want to focus on the Bank of Paul Amerson. The relevance to that statement is that in this process, which was in 2012, I actually wound up residentless because as a man, I didn't want to have to sit in the house with my father telling me that I wanted to be white. That's insulting. As an African American living in America, dealing with the issues and adversities of this nation without actually even trying to, basically racism exists. I mean, it's just the bottom line. But as a man and an intelligent man, I don't address those issues. I could care less about them. My father said something to me that made a lot of sense. One day I told him, one time I told him, I said, you know, I don't really worry about racism in this country because it doesn't actually change who I am. My thinking processes as an individual are not defined by the way that Caucasians that are vibrating on racism treat me. And he said, you can think that, but the reality is that when you encounter a racist Caucasian in a position to undermine your life and subject it to racism, your belief that it doesn't exist or that somehow not thinking about it or observing it will make it better doesn't change the power that they have over manipulating the conditions that you have to live under. And that's a very valid statement, and what he said makes a lot of sense. This is the same man that now, in the present, is upset because I choose to do something the way I want to do it. And instead of vibrating on the divine principles that he tried to perpetuate, he wants to vibrate on his ignorance and his stupidity from being miseducated in our society. The reason why we're addressing this is because I'm about to be subjected to some more misunderstanding in our society because his lack of intelligence forced me to have to sleep in a tent.
in front of Winco Foods for about a month. Hardest thing that I ever had to do. I slept in a tent for 3 weeks in front of Winco while I tried to get myself together. I have 2 jobs. I actually got hired with the understanding, when, like I said, I work at Little Caesars. I actually got hired at Little Caesars with the understanding that I was without residency. I went to Little Caesars, looked Marty directly in the eyes, and asked him if he was hiring. He said, yeah. I said, well, are you hiring the homeless? Would you be willing to give a homeless man a job? Because I'm in a position to where I'm about to lose a job that I have because their policies are changing, and if I don't do something, I'm gonna wind up homeless forever. And so he said, sure. He said, fill out an application, bring it back. I'll talk to my father on Monday because it's a family-owned company, and we'll see if we can get you a position. He said, I'll fight to get you a position. Me and him had a discussion. We had an interview and everything. And this is a Caucasian male, because racism is only defined by those people that are actually racist. Just because you look a certain way doesn't mean that you should automatically be subjected to an axiom of discrimination. Just like when an individual looks at me and can't see past my skin color, well, I should not, as a man, stand around and try to look at other individuals and feel like I have the right to not look past their skin color. You have to treat people based on who they actually are, not who you want them to be. What's about to occur, because I'm surviving, I'm paying $200 in child support. Right now I'm working less than 20 hours a week. I have 2 jobs. So what did I do? I went to go update my information for food stamp benefits because I'm human. If I can't afford to buy food, I'm gonna steal it. I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat it. I don't find anything wrong with me having to go into a store and steal food because I have to eat to survive. If I don't eat to survive, I will starve to death. And my biological nature is just not gonna allow me to do that. So I could try to hold out for a day or 2, but sooner or later, I'm gonna have to steal food if I can't provide for myself. So if I can't work a job, because I have 2, if I can't work a job where they'll pay me to actually be able to provide for myself, the only thing left for me to do is vibrate on my primal nature. That's just common sense. It's causality. It's empirical. So I went to DHS to update my information in regards to that. Well, in the process of doing that, I had a worker that decided she wanted to actually do her job today, and she went through my file and nitpicked at it and determined that me and Miss Webster, the mother of my daughter, are staying together. And since we're staying together by state law, I have to put her on my information. She even went as far as to tell me that I need to go to child support and update my information with child support so that I can stop paying child support, because what I'm doing by paying child support while staying in a house with Ms. Webster is considered fraud. When I work at a job where I don't even get enough hours to actually get child support, they don't even take child support out of my check because I worked, like last week, I worked 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours. That's, if you do the math, at $9.20 an hour, that's what? $19 before federal taxes? If they take 50%, that's $9 in child support. And then if they take taxes from that, I'll get what? $6 in my bank account? So I'm supposed to go cancel child support for that? For what? Just to create adversities in my home? And that's basically what's going on right now, because the worker took it upon herself to call Ms. Webster, that's Alex's mother, and told her that since I'm in the household, that she has to add me to her benefits. Now, I want you to think about this for a second, because me and Ms. Webster are both adults. If I'm sitting in the actual office, physically in the office, talking to her about my case, why weren't they added to my benefits? I was added to their benefits. I was added to Heidi's benefits and Alex's benefits because Heidi is the custodial parent of Alex. So they updated Heidi's information with me without my consent. Now, you and I, we all know that in this society, if I write documents and falsify information, it's called fraud. But this DHS officer has the right to tell me as a human being, as a male, that I have to be on the benefits with another individual that doesn't even like me, simply because of some rules and regulations that were written. What happened to my constitutional rights? What happened to my freedoms? I mean, all of them. I mean, realistically, all of them. Isn't that basically borderline slavery still, when you tell somebody that they have to do something based on principles that weren't written down? If I would have went to that DHS office with all of Heidi's information and tried to add myself to her account, that would have been fraudulent, because I don't have the right to sign her name or her signature. That's what the caseworker just did. But worse than that, she just stood between a father and his daughter, because now Ms. Webster benefits are going to be modified based on my income, which is imaginary based on their system, because she's not going to evaluate the information correctly. Like she said, I looked at your information and it doesn't even make sense. How can you afford to pay for this when your income is too low for you to afford to pay for this? Because I didn't lie on the information. I put that I work 20 hours a week and then I make minimum wage. The rent is $9.50. I put Heidi's name on there because it's the truth. Miss Webster pays half of my rent. You know, that's just the bottom line. I didn't lie about anything. But since she went out her way to try to figure out specifically what was going on, what she has done, and she has created a condition where Miss Webster is going to be basically chewing me out when I get home because I ruined her life. Because now all of the money and stuff that the state gives her, which is the reason why there's so many single mothers in this nation, is going to be affected by me being omnipresent in my daughter's life, physically located in the home. See, it's okay for Heidi to expect to get $200 in child support from me every month. That's perfectly valid. But now that my presence in Alex's life is going to affect her financially to where she can't have all of the perks and benefits that comes with being an American citizen and a single mother, now all of a sudden I'm going to get subjected to some lameness when I get back. And I'm going to record that lameness the same way I recorded my coworkers. And I'm going to splice it into this video. And I want you to watch it because I want you to understand why we live in the society that we live in. When you want to understand why I'm trying to put together a banking structure so that men and women can be in a position to take care of themselves, you'll understand what I'm talking about when you listen to this lameness that's about to come my way. And it's all because one human being took it upon herself to do her job correctly. Now, Heidi's been trying to apply for a diversion grant so that we can have the money we needed to move into an apartment. She keeps getting denied. They keep giving her a runaround. Everything that she does to try to get the money that she needs to take care of her daughter is being stagnated by the system. Now all of a sudden, the system is going to stagnate her because I'm present in the household. And then when you wonder why males are not present in the home, when you wonder why you don't see mothers and fathers working together, this is the reason why. Because the men in this country don't get cash benefits. Only the women in this country get cash benefits. The women in this country can only get cash benefits if they remove the male from the home. And it's been like that since Malcolm X's time, and Martin Luther King's time. And it will continue to perpetuate the same system and it's the same society as long as we allow the banks that are running this government to do what they do. That woman in the the Department of Human Resources, has a job as long as I'm homeless on the street and I have to come up there every 6 months and update my information. She understands, sitting in her position, that me and Heidi working together is a family unit. And if we work together, we eliminate her job. So she has no problem with destroying hundreds of people's homes based on the simple fact of doing her job the way that it was intended to do, which is to basically to divide the family. She's only doing her job. She's probably not conscious of the fact that her role in the governmental structure is to create single homes, but that is what her role is. And as long as she's in compliance to that, that is what she will achieve. And that is the reason why our nation is being stagnated. That is the reason why you see what you see in your communities. And it has very little to do with the individuals other than simply being ignorant, which you're about to experience. It has everything to do with the fact that we have a society that's based on immoral and unethical principles. Because you should not stand on principles of hurting someone. And it's just that simple. When a man comes into you and basically tries to get food benefits, she should have gave me my food benefits and send me packing. She didn't have to go the extra mile to try to figure out, well, how come you're only working 20 hours a week, Paul, and your income is your monthly income is less than your rent? That doesn't make any sense. How are you on a lease if your monthly income is less than rent? So you must be deceiving me in some way. It's like, I'm not really deceiving you, I'm just not giving you all the information. Not giving you all the information is not the same as deceiving you when I'm only here for food stamp benefits. The $200 that you're giving me in food stamps will allow me to pay my full rent. If my rent is $306 and my income is $400 and you give me $200 in food stamps, then I can afford to pay my rent because I have $200 to buy food with. Now, since you're going to add me to Ms. Webster's case, I can no longer afford to buy food because I have to ask her to buy me food. She's not going to want to do that. So now I have to spend the cash that I have in my pocket that's supposed to go to the rent to buy the things that I need to survive day to day. She doesn't want to look at that. She doesn't have to look at that. She's going to go home and go sleep and sleep comfortably tonight. She doesn't care that Heidi's upset. She doesn't have to care that Heidi's upset. All she did was her job. And her job is to destroy American society by simply perpetuating a system that's broken. The DHS office is a good, valid entity. I'm glad it's there because, like I said before, if I couldn't get food stamps, I would have been arrested for stealing food. The problem is that it just doesn't work. All it does is promote stagnation. So we'll see what happens. And as always, my name is Paul Amerson and that's my 2 cents. What are you watching? Shake it up. Sweet.
So when were you planning on telling me that you were telling them that we were living together?
I wasn't planning on telling them that we were living together. I just went up there to update my information, and for whatever reason, the worker decided to put in extra work and took it upon herself to go through the system and put a bunch of puzzles together and connections that I never mentioned. So I don't even have any of your information. The only thing I did was went down there.
Take the lease up to them. They're gonna know, obviously.
Well, I have to update my information if I wanted to keep getting stamps, which she
I
cut.
thought you were just telling me you were living with Ida.
She cut those off. So,
Yeah, she cut them off for me too.
well, she said she's gonna. I don't know how she's gonna combine our information, but that's what she said she was gonna do.
Because I got approved for the grant.
It's out of her jurisdiction or whatever, but
Because I had gotten approved for the grant and increased my food stamps because of my income. And then this lady decides to call me and say, well, you can't do anything if you're both living together. Like, I'm not living
really
together.
lame.
He's just staying with me until he gets his own
It really
place.
frustrated me because all I was trying to do was
Yeah.
get
Because
food
now we
stamps.
don't qualify for any cash assistance or any food assistance.
Stupid. System not working. It's infuriating.
Because with both of our income, they're going to include your $200 a week into my income and say that we're over budget for anything other than Alex's medical.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
So it's basically screwed both of us. And you didn't even inform me that you were going to be doing this information.
well, like I said, all I was doing was going to update my information. And that's it. That was my only plan. So just go down there and then be gone. She just went on a rampage. I was on there for 4 hours just to basically get denied. So I don't even know what to say because now I'm $200 in the hole. $200 more in the hole because I don't get food stamps anymore.
And I don't get anything. The only thing I was getting was food stamps. And now, I mean, we're not even going to be able to afford to live here.
Well, I have to figure something out. Because I'm not really in a position to do much anything except for struggle. I've been struggling so long. It's
Yeah,
just,
but I've been barely scraping by being able to take care of Alex and myself.
I've always been barely scraping by. Like I said, my intention wasn't to go down there and screw anything up. I just went to go update my information for food stamp benefits. That was it.
Right, but if you were going to tell them you were living here, I mean, I hadn't told them I was living here.
Well, I didn't know that you didn't tell them that.
But if you would have communicated to me,
I didn't know that I was supposed to.
but that's
Like
the
I
whole
said,
thing.
I just went down there.
But if you tell them that you're moved to this address, then I have to tell them that I'm not living. I mean, according to them, they think I'm still living with Sarah.
Oh, well, I didn't know all of that. I
But if
didn't
you would
know.
have told me that you were going up there to talk to them, even remotely,
I'm not a mind reader. I did tell you. I said I'm going to update my food stamp benefits.
Right.
I did tell you that. I
yes,
told you
but
several
you weren't
times.
telling me that you were going to update your address information.
I didn't know that I was
You-
supposed to specifically say I'm going to go apply
Okay.
for food stamp benefits and update my
In your
address
previous
information.
attempt to update your food stamp information, it's been strictly income, stating your hours, not your residential
Right,
information.
right. I understand all that. I did not know that I was supposed to say, "Hey Heidi, I'm gonna go give them this information and this
Yeah.
information too." I
If
just
we're under the same roof, we need to communicate. That was a whole thing of even starting this information,
Well-
this whole little thing.
I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know how to know what I should say and what I shouldn't say. I spent my whole life being honest, but most people don't like honesty, so I just
No,
learned to just be
honesty's
quiet.
great, but we have to be able to communicate. If you just say, "I'm going to go update my information," okay, what exactly does that mean?
It means just that, update my information. I didn't know that I was supposed to give you the play-by-play. I didn't know.
Because now we're both screwed. Even telling her that no, he's only temporarily staying there until he's able to, if not, he's sleeping outside. Well, unfortunately, because you're under the same roof, we have to both, because he's the father of your child, we have to
Yes.
count his income with your income. Even
It's
though
lame.
all okay, yeah, we're helping each other out, but according, all I really get is food stamps. Unless I actually ask you, I mean, we don't have a combined income.
I know. I think she overstepped her boundaries. I really do. You should actually go down there and talk to them or something and just mention like there's no reason he doesn't even have any of my information. How did she even find out that we have a case together? Because I didn't take any of your information. I specifically took just my information.
Okay,
She went
did you
through.
take a copy of the lease?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Oh well.
That's all she needed.
Oh, well. I still think that that's not how it works in Detroit. So.
Because you're not in Detroit, Paul.
Well, I can only vibrate on the information that I have.
Well, how am I supposed to take care of her and myself and provide a roof over her head?
I don't know. We'll have
We
to
might
just,
as well go back and live with Sarah.
we'll have to just figure it out. We'll have to just nickel and dime it, and I'll have to just keep fighting for more hours. And
But you
I
don't
don't
fight
know.
for hours.
I do
You
fight for
take what
hours.
they give you.
I don't take what they give me. I'm subjected to being limited to what they give me. I can't go up there and be like, "You're gonna give me 40 hours." Doesn't work like that.
That's
I have
not
to
what you
go
have
through.
to do. You need to go up and say, "No, I need more hours in this. I am a dad. I
That's
have to take care of my
what
kid."
I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's why I
That's
have.
not in your personality, Paul. You don't do that. You don't go up to Michael and say, "No, if you wrote me up for this and you don't fire me, then you need to give me hours."
That is exactly what I did. And that's why I have 4 hours. That's why I have 4 hours. It's not a lot, but it's more than what I had. You can't just make people do stuff. You can believe that you can make people do stuff, but that's not how the real world works.
I feel like I need to add something right here because I'm listening to this recording as I'm talking. Uh, I was scheduled 4 hours by the store manager where I was working, right? The individual that I was working for, I was roommating with him, so I lived with him, so he knew everything about me on an intimate level that goes beyond just a normal uh, subordinate supervisor relationship. His response to me trying to enhance the quality of my life with my daughter was to reduce my overall hours. So again, like when you sit there and you say that the fathers are not trying as hard as they can be to be in their children's lives, these are the adversities that we're expected to overcome. Because me trying to be in my daughter's life resulted in a significant reduction in my overall hours. So now I'm sitting here, while I'm having this discussion with Miss Webster, I have 2 jobs. I have 2 legal jobs that I'm registered at. I work at Papa Murphy's and Little Caesars, and I make less than $200 a month working 2 jobs. And she's lecturing me about how I need to go demand more hours, but I spend my whole life trying to be self-employed so that I don't have to go ask somebody else for work. And I'm gonna leave it at that for right now, and then I'm gonna get back to the rest of this recording.
if that was the case, then I would have gotten $200 in food stamp benefits.
Well, not if they're gonna, like I've been telling you. According to them, over $360 for the two of me and her to live off of is above poverty level.
Yeah.
The average rent is more than $600.
I know. I've been living off of $400 or $500 all my life, so.
But it's just been you.
Yeah.
Now
but
they're making us three in one person, one family.
I really honestly don't know what to say. Only thing I can say is I'm sorry, because it wasn't my intention to go screw stuff up. It was my intention to just go get $200 in food stamps. That was it. That was my goal. That was it. I should have just stayed in here and worked on my video game.
Well, you should have said, hey, now they want my address information. What are we technically doing? Do we say that we're living under one roof? Because now they're going to take the child support away because you live here.
She mandated that. Like, I don't know why, but she was like, well, you paying child support is fraudulent and all this. And I'm like, how is it fraudulent? It's still going to the same place regardless.
What, she said you paying child support and living under the same roof is fraud?
Yeah, that's what she tried to tell me. It's like, no, it's not. It's
But the judge says you have to.
Yeah, it's like, it's mandatory. How is it fraudulent? I was like, all it's going to do is just complicate stuff. Make everything more difficult than it has to be.
Well, because they're going to start, paying your unemployment even if you don't get unemployment because you've applied. Did you even claim on Sunday?
No, nothing was open on Sunday.
You have to call the 800 number and file your claim every Sunday for unemployment.
You call the 800 number?
Yes, you have to call the 800. If you haven't done that, then you just effed up your unemployment.
Yeah.
So you may need to call them.
I'll call them tomorrow.
I
was going to do everything Monday, and since everything was closed on Monday, that threw off the schedule that I had set everything up to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
Did
when
they tell you that when you called your unemployment and started it?
Yeah, he
You
said
have
go
to file
down.
every week?
He said go down to He said you're going to be getting information through the mail. Go down to WorkSource on Sunday and take care of everything. So my mindset was go down here on Sunday, and I'm like, they're not open on Sunday, so I'll go Monday. And then Martin Luther King's birthday was Monday, so I was like, I'll take care of it today. And then by the time today came, I just spaced it. So I'll just do it tomorrow.
You need to set a schedule for yourself.
I do have a schedule for myself. It was interrupted by the holiday.
You have to plan ahead for these things.
I did plan ahead, but I couldn't plan ahead for a holiday that I wasn't expecting to just magically appear.
The government closes for every holiday. They close on Friday, too.
I don't subscribe to holidays. When have you ever known me to follow a holiday?
But the
That's
government
one of
goes
the
by
reasons.
holidays. You live in a government
I know, that's
society.
one of the reasons why we didn't work. It's because I don't do holidays. I don't give holidays energy. I'm
But
just
that's the
subjected to
world.
them.
That's how our government system works.
And it
You
interferes
don't
with
get mail
my.
on Sundays. You don't get mail on holidays.
It interferes with
The
my
banks
day-to-day
are all
life
closed
every day.
on every holiday
So.
they can. You need to prepare yourself for that.
I do my
You
best.
live in a Paul world, and the Paul world isn't real.
It's real enough for me.
But the world isn't you. What the hell?
As much as I'm cast to the side, it might as well be.
You're not going to be able to get unemployment. That's why you're not going to be able to get your mail. That's not. I mean,
You know, it's lame.
it's not. And unfortunately, because of this information, because of you don't think about these things, you screwed everything up for me and Alex. I'm not going to be able to get groceries next month. If I get groceries, we're not going to be able to pay the rent.
Well, we'll have to just,
I've
like I said, we're just gonna have to just figure it out. We really don't have any other choice.
But that's the thing. I don't live day to day to try to figure it it out. I have to have a plan.
And then we're supposed to work on a plan.
Also, you're gonna have to make them believe that you don't live here anymore.
Now, how do we go about doing that?
I don't know. Mail them my mom's address. Tell them you're living with my parents. I don't care that you're here, but they cannot know that we're underneath the same roof.
Let's see what I can do.
Back to the Social Security office.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yelled.
I didn't yell in the train, but yeah. I went and spoke to them. And for whatever reason, they're still saying that
No, they now have fraud on my account.
you're automatically head of the household.
Right.
Well, I didn't, like I said, all I did was went down there and apply for peace. I don't understand their rationale. I don't. Because for whatever reason, like when I went there today, he said, well, she's automatically head of household. I said, okay, by what regulation do you determine that she's automatically head of household? And they're like, well, there's a federal mandate. I'm like, okay, can you explain what that means? And they're like, there's just a federal mandate. Like, can you specifically explain?
Right.
Because the way we've always done it is that wherever you're living, if you apply, you only count yourself.
Right.
So I don't understand why that changed
Right.
when we move in with each other, and why they don't emphasize on
Yeah,
that
because of whatever
when we
reason,
go down
because
there.
you're the father of the child, I'm the mother of the child.
And how many times have they ever actually explained that to anyone?
Right.
I don't understand why there's this big deal, because it seems pretty straightforward. You go, you apply, you update your information, they tell you whether you're qualified or not.
Right.
All I did was what they told me to do, update your information. Only thing I was trying to do was not be homeless, you know, like, just, that was it. Just give them, because it doesn't make any sense for me to apply and say that I'm paying rent and all this other stuff
Right.
if I'm not, and how do I justify it, you know? So,
Right. Well, did you tell them that I picked you out basically, and
no,
that you are gonna live with my mom?
no,
Why didn't you tell them that?
because it would be a lie.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna have to figure something out, because they cannot know that we live together. That's what I tried to tell you yesterday.
Right, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that I don't live here if I live here. If I'm on a lease here, I'm not gonna go down there and say that I'm not on a lease here.
Then you're basically fucking both of us out of everything.
But that's not my intention, but I'm not gonna be on record as telling a lie. I spent my entire life not getting into legal trouble.
Okay, then we're gonna have you move out. Like, literally move out. If you're not willing to help me with this.
Well, where am I gonna go?
Mom said you could live over there.
How am I gonna get over there?
Walk. Because that's the thing, Paul, is that you don't, I mean, this was what I'm trying to explain to you. We have to have, I don't care that you're here, but if they know that you're living here and I'm living here, then we're both fucked.
I agree, but I don't really
And
understand.
And tell them that you're not living here. I don't care that you're here, but they cannot know that you're here. That's what I told you the other day.
I know all of that, but I'm not trying to go down there and I'm not going to falsify information.
Well, then you're gonna have to find another place to live.
I don't understand why I have to. Why can't you go down there and falsify information? Why do I have to do it? Why
Because
can't?
because I'm doing that. I have to do that tomorrow to tell them that you're not living here. But you also have to tell them that you're not living here, or else it's gonna be obvious that it's false
I'm not
information.
telling them that.
Well, then you're gonna have to move.
You're fully capable of doing the same thing. If you want to, don't you have a boyfriend? Can't you ask him if you can use his address? Why can't you just tell them that you left the apartment and that you're moved somewhere else to get away from me? And then that way I can
Because
not
I have to have the income for verification of address, and not address, but rent. Because if I have to pay a lower rent and tell them that I'm paying a lower rent, that basically tells them that I have more cash than I do.
That's the same problem that I would have.
Right.
Oh.
But we agreed when we moved in here that we would use my income for the rent and you would pay everything else.
Right.
Why can't you do that at my mom's house? Say that you live with my mom. My
Because
mom totally said that she would write something in.
It's fraudulent
She
for
would
me
write
to do
something.
that. If they decide to go the extra mile to determine that that's not actually the case, if they go the extra mile to do an investigation, which they probably will because that's my luck, then it will be fraudulent. And I'm just not willing to do that.
What would be fraudulent about it? My mom said that she would say that you live there, that you could keep stuff there to prove that you live there.
But
if they came over to look at it,
I'm on the lease here.
we could say you co-signed.
That's all that stuff probably won't work. All that stuff is
Okay,
theoretical.
then you're really gonna have to move out because we can't have this at them combining both of our incomes.
This is so stupid.
Yeah, it is. But it's the way it works. You said yourself, the fact that the state and the government makes it so that you have to basically be lazy in order to get help.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be lazy, but I'm trying to get help. And unfortunately, that's the situation that we're in. Because you took a copy of the lease up there. All you had to do was update your information is take up your income. Take the fact that you applied for unemployment. That's all they wanted. And I get that you're an honest guy. I get that. But unfortunately, that's not helping us right now. Because they cut all my child support. They cut the food stamps. I already wasn't getting cash assistance. That's not my problem. But in order to live here, for us to be adults, you really fucked us up.
Yeah, I tend to do that. It's not my intention, but that
I
seems
understand
to
that
be
wasn't your intention, and I'm sorry.
what I do. That's
But-
why I can't wait till I don't have to be social. That's why I spend so much time trying to avoid social interactions and social activities.
Well, I'm trying to keep your daughter away from not being social. She needs to be social. In order for her development to continue, she needs to be social.
I agree.
And I have to go up in person tomorrow and try to fix this.
Well, I really don't know what to say other than I'm not willing to lie.
Well, then you're really going to have to start finding something else.
I'm not going to be able to find anywhere else.
Well, I mean, then you're pretty much making yourself homeless again. My mom said you could stay there. She said you could use the address and stay here. All they're going to do to verify it is call the people who live there or call the people who rent to you.
I'm just not comfortable with that.
Okay, well then you're going to have to find something else. I'm trying to help us both out here, but if you're not willing to
I'm willing to be honest. I'm willing to
that's
go
fine.
down
I
there
get that you're an honest person and you don't like lying.
and tell them the truth and get them to come to some condition where we will be able to sustain ourselves and work on getting more hours at work so that I can cover my half of the rent. That's what I'm willing to do.
Well, and then it's not going to work because they're going to combine our income. We already know that. That's what put us in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that you're an honest person, and that's great. I love that. That's fine. But in this situation, that's not helping us.
I know, but to be honest means to be honest. It doesn't mean to
Right.
be honest when it's convenient for you. It means to actually stand in truth. It's empirical.
That's fine.
You have to
But then
actually
you're
be.
going to have to find another place to live so that you can be honest.
So I have to find another place to be honest.
Yep. And I'm sorry, but if we're gonna keep this place, then
If we're gonna keep this place, I have to leave.
no. Well, I mean, either that or you need to help us figure
I
this
have
out.
to pack up my stuff, change my location in space and time, and continue to provide for an address that I'm not allowed to actually claim or establish any type of legitimate claim to.
We figured out that I can afford it on my own. It was getting in here that I needed help with, which was fine. And I'm more than willing to have you stay here. I don't care. But we need to figure out how to work this so that we can continue to get food stamps. And so that they don't cut my child support, because that was the only one paying for Alex's tutoring information, which they now won't pay for because they cut my child support. That was the only way she was able to stay after on Mondays and get reading help.
Right.
And now she can't do that because I can't afford it.
How much is it?
It's $100.
So it'll be $100 less than. Were you getting $200 in child support?
Yeah, I was getting $207 a month
I don't know.
because they were paying your back child support off.
I'm so used to being in this position, I really don't know what to say. I'm so used to not having enough and having to make 10 out of 7 that I don't really know what to say.
Well, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you to understand this.
No, I do understand it. I'm just not. There's just
And I
no
understand.
point. There's no reason for me to go down there and lie for you. There's just not. I mean, I
That
love my
means you lied
daughter.
for me.
You do need me to lie for you. You need me to go down there and tell them that I'm
No.
not actually in the household so that we can get benefits that we have based on us being
Or
separate.
I need you to not be in here really. And
Right.
so, I mean, that's the two options.
Right, but for me to not be in here really would make it impossible for me to help you pay for this apartment.
I
Besides
don't
the
need
fact,
you to help me to pay for this apartment. I can afford it on my own. I can pay the rent and be here on my own. I won't be able to probably have cable,
right?
but I will be able to pay for the power. I will be able to pay for the washer and dryer. I will be able to pay the
So
rent.
if you can afford all that stuff, then why is it so necessary for you to have state assistance if you have
Because
the?
we won't be able to afford food.
Well, we'll have to just scrape by.
That
That doesn't make any sense, but that's what we're gonna have to do. That's the option. The option is for us to actually scrape by.
basically, I can't send Alex to tutoring, is what you're telling me, because I won't have child support.
We can tutor her ourselves.
No, Paul, it doesn't work. I work with her all the time. But the extra help after school from a real teacher who has the technique to work with her is what she needs. That's what she's been doing for the last 3 years.
Well, we'll have to just step up to the plate and do it ourselves because we can't afford that extra luxury
Or you can fuck up and be a man
and leave.
and either leave, because we were doing just fine without you. I'm sorry, I care for you and I love you because you gave me that amazing girl in there. And she loves having you around, but we were just fine.
And you'd rather go back to that than to struggle and just wait for me to get more
No.
hours at work.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying at all.
I think
And
that is
don't-
what you're saying.
And I don't want you to leave
I
her.
think that is what you're saying because
But-
you want me to
Either
falsify documents so that we can get assistance that we need them, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if we didn't have them to struggle on the maybe that the 2 jobs
Okay.
that I have will bring in the income that we need.
Paul,
And instead of
how
doing
much
that,
have you made the last 4 months that you've been around?
enough for us to move into this apartment.
Barely.
Enough,
We still have to borrow
enough
$300
to help
from
you,
Rapid Cash.
right, enough to help you pay your rent when you were staying with Sarah, enough to help you provide Alex with a Christmas, and enough to get us into this apartment. Just barely enough. And my hours at Papa Murphy's is going up, my hours at Little Caesars is going up. The money you get in child support comes out of my checks, so, I mean, you might not rationalize that, but if I'm not at
So what, are
work,
you gonna give me $200 extra in cash every month just so that I can give her her tutoring?
no, I would give you all the money that I make to make sure that rent is paid, utilities is paid, and if there's enough for tutoring, yeah, you can have that too for tutoring. But if we can't afford to pay for her tutoring, we'll just have to do it ourselves. I mean, I know that's irrational, probably, but that's just logic. That's the way that two adults actually work together to accomplish an objective of taking care of
The
sustaining a
idea was
household.
not for this to be a permanent situation. The idea was for you to be able to save to get on your own.
Exactly, and one of the things that I need is to establish rental history. If I don't establish rental history, I'm not going to be able to get on my own. And I can't establish rental history if I'm not on a lease.
Okay, get this. You falsified documents to get in here.
No, actually, we didn't.
Yeah.
How did we falsify documents?
We said that we lived with our parents and that you lived with Ida. Ida was true. That's right. But you falsified living with my parents then?
I don't think so. I think that you falsified documents.
You filled out your own application.
Yeah.
And you put my parents down.
Yeah. That was the idea for us getting in here.
Okay.
Was to just put them down to keep it simple so that they wouldn't do background checks and other stuff.
Okay. So then why can't you do this now?
Because there is no federal obligation with moving into an apartment based on a system that won't give me a place by myself. I can always afford to move into an apartment with you, but when I apply to get an apartment by myself, I never can afford to. For some reason, I'm always rejected and denied. This would allow me to be in a relationship, have a relationship with my daughter, and allow me to establish the information that I need so that I could move out legitimately and get my own place. If I can get the hours I need to work, I can save the money that I need.
Here now.
I need at least 6 months.
Well, we can say you lived here for 6 months when you apply for another place. But I need you to do this so that we can afford food. We can barely afford food as it is. We don't have milk.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm not falsifying information. I'm not falsifying
you're
documents.
going to have to find another place.
Then I'll start looking tomorrow. Even though I'm not really working enough to actually get a place. But if it makes you feel better to hear me say that, then that's what I'll do. Because unfortunately I'm on a lease, so until they evict us, I can continue to just stay here. I have a key.
I can change the locks. That would be easy.
I can call the landlord and tell him to change the locks, and then he'll
And
have to come
tell
down
them
here.
that I'm having you move out because it's not working.
That's fine, if that's what you want to do. If that's your decision making, that's fine. That's the disadvantage to being an honest person. I'm starting to figure out that the reason why I don't work in society is because I am truthful. Honest people and dishonest people don't do well together. I'm only here for Alex. I'm not really here.
You can still have. I would never take her away from you.
So.
You know that, and I've never have.
So I hate that I'm being difficult and stubborn, but you can't change your nature. I haven't asked you to change yours, so.
No, because I'm too stubborn to not. But I also know what I need to do to get things done, and I'm willing to do that, especially when it comes to taking care of our daughter.
I agree, and it's worth struggling.
It is worth struggling, but I'm already struggling, and I don't need to struggle anymore.
You can do bad by yourself, basically.
I've already struggled this much on my own, but to take away what I have had to be able to make it, it's not going to work.
That's how the system works. It's designed to destroy households. That's what it means to do that's what that institution is designed to do. It's designed to create opposition within the home and to make sure that there is no cooperation between
Alex, you need to come eat, please.
between parents. And it works very well. So Alex, before you go, before I go, are you ready for me to leave yet? Your mom's gonna change the locks. So have you decided if you want me to go?
Locks. I have to, because Dad hasn't helped out with the money, so I have to do the grown-up thing.
And
I have to have your dad leave. I have to have your dad move out.
Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
So are you ready for me to leave? Is that a yes or a no? It's a no?
Well, he is still going to come visit. You're still going to visit. I didn't say that you can't see your dad.
I won't move out until you tell me to, so
you don't see him.
But we need help when we Halloween costumes.
Well, your dad can still come over and see you, honey. You're still gonna talk to your dad. It's not like you're never gonna see your dad. When he's not working and when mom's off, you can come over and visit. And
Do they have monster high shoes for costumes?
I don't know. Maybe when mom goes out, he can come over and babysit.
Like sweatshirt shoes with no. Like sweatshirt shoes with no.
So I'm guessing that's a no. Call me.
It's dead. Open the door before I have the police call.
It's dead. If you have enough power to call them, you have enough power to call me.
Open my door.
There's no reason for me to open your door if you're not gonna be trying to negotiate. There's no reason for me to open the door.
Fucking door.
I don't have to. I don't have to open the door. I don't have to. She wants to exercise her right to lock me up, so I'm going to exercise my right to lock her up. I'm going to let the police show up, tell her that they can't do anything about forcing me to let her in. Then they're going to get here. They're going to tell her that they can't make me open the door for her. And we'll go from there. I'm going to call Kelly and Wade back. Because everybody's going to be mad at me. I'm going to be a monster. Because I locked Heidi and my daughter out. But nobody wants to challenge Heidi's position when it comes to knocking me out. Nobody has anything to say to her. She locks me out. They probably won't answer.
At the tone, please record your message to 3608826
This is Heidi's parents.
6052.
They didn't answer the phone when I called back. My daughter believes that her mother is right and I'm wrong. So I'm going to let Heidi call the police. I'm going to let them come out. I'm going to let them explain to her the same thing they told me so that Alex can understand her mother's position. If Heidi wants to break into the apartment, she's more than willing to do so. But I'm not going to consent to corruption. I'm not going to let Alex think that I'm the bad guy because I'm being treated like crap. Hello?
Hey, why'd you change the lock?
Because I got locked out. So she locked me out. She doesn't want to cooperate. I'm supposed to be the man and cooperate, negotiate.
You just locked your daughter out, man. That's not cool.
She locked me out yesterday, and you guys are over there.
You guys aren't supposed to be bringing Alex into this.
You guys are consenting to it, and I'm not gonna stand for it. I would rather lose everything than to just keep allowing Heidi to treat me like crap and everybody act like it's okay because Paul is just supposed to be the bigger man and just man up. And
Paul, you guys can't do that.
it's about Alex. It's about her. I haven't seen Alex. I haven't seen her in weeks. You know what? You know what? Wait. I'm trying my hardest to be cooperative with your daughter, but she's a bitch. I'm trying so hard to just be a nice guy and to work out all of this stuff with her, but she's a bitch. You guys are gonna have her corner. I respect that, but I'm not gonna keep putting up with this crap. If the only thing you can do is what you're doing anyway, keep Alex away from me. So pick a position. Help me establish a relationship with Alex's life, or side with Heidi and continue to let her treat me like crap and downgrade me in front of Alex. Because I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of trying to get money out of Paul and belittling Paul and treating Paul like crap. I'm supposed to sleep outside. I'm supposed to come home to an empty house and clean up and do all this shit, but not actually be able to spend time with my daughter. I haven't spent any time with Alex. And there is nobody in this entire state that gives a damn about my right as a father to be in my daughter's life, and I'm sick of it. I'm fed the fuck up. Your daughter can make a parenting plan and call me. That's what she can do. She can make a parenting plan and call me. She locked me out first. Y'all want to get mad at me after she locked me out. It's perfectly fine for women to run around this country and treat men like shit, because I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that wasn't trying to do the right thing. I'm the guy that's doing the right thing. If men are doing the right thing out here in this world and these women are running around here getting away with it, what the fuck is the point? Why am I doing the right thing? Why am I not swinging crack? If this is what we get, if this is how we're going to be treated. And I'm not going to sit here and keep consenting to that bullshit. No, I'm not going to do it. You're being recorded.
Record me. I'm not doing anything wrong.
I just want you to know,
Walk into my house again.
it's not your house, it's our apartment.
No, this is not. You have been removed.
Call the
from me.
police and have them remove me from the unit. Call the police and have them remove me from the unit.
No. They're on their way.
Okay. Okay, we'll see what happens when they get here. We'll just see.
Yeah.
And just let Alex know I'm sorry, but you guys are treating me like shit.
No.
No, you and your parents are treating me like shit. No, I'm tired of it.
Getting a view over her.
Y'all are treating me like shit. No, this is the image that you want to create for her, and this is what she's gonna see. She's gonna see me standing in opposition to you. You're a liar. You're a thief, and you're just a very bad person. So you don't have to. Okay, we'll find. We'll see. We'll see. I'm guilty of being a bad person. I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. She spent so much energy invested in this. So this is what she wanted. This is what it looks like. When them officers come out here and tell her they can't do nothing, then we'll see. Then I'll let my daughter in my apartment. But I want her mother to know what it feels like to be locked out. She needs to know. You're being recorded, officers. I don't have to. You don't have the right to tell me to open the door.
Actually, she does have the right. She lives here.
She has the right, but
She go into her house.
she locked me out too.
Okay.
So,
She needs to get some clothes because she plans on leaving.
okay, that's understandable. As long as we have a clear understanding.
What was that?
Come get some clothes.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's my lock.
Okay. Well, you guys deal with that through the management process.
You guys are being recorded.
Great. Thanks.
No. I'm sorry,
Who's
Alex.
gonna take care of Kitty?
You know,
I've
your
been-
dad said he's staying here, so.
I've been taking care of Kitty for a while.
Oh, big old cat fight going on.
Yeah.
So-
And what about him? I'm gonna go check on the hamster. I hope he's not.
He's
I'm
fine.
sure your hamster's fine.
I've been taking care of Hamps for a while.
So when you change the locks, you're aware that she can come into her own residence, right? You're aware
Yeah.
of that? Okay, so you're aware that she could basically force the door if she wanted to?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
We're strongly encouraging that not to happen, but.
I'm strongly encouraging that not to happen too. The problem is that Ms. Webster's under the impression that this is her
Thank you,
apartment,
Dad.
Okay.
and it's not her apartment, because if it was her apartment, then you guys would be dragging me out of here. She needs an intelligent individual like myself to remind her that this is a joint
Regular
apartment, a mutual agreement, and she should not be allowed to use my daughter to take advantage of me.
Okay.
And the people around her
So you
seem
actually
to
left
be
your daughter out?
incapable. The people around me seem to be incapable of explaining that to Miss Webster. They're playing with her ego because they want access to my child. So it's okay for other people in her life to spend time with Alex,
you're
but
telling
it's
me
not
that
okay.
Your answer was to,
Her father's coming in.
your answer is to lock her and your daughter out. That's
My
your
answer is to take a stand against being treated like shit. That is
Lock
my
my
answer.
granddaughter out of her own home? I don't think so, Slick.
You have every right to be mad at me,
Yeah, I
and
got
I
every
don't
right.
care.
You
I
locked
don't
my
care.
granddaughter out of her own home?
You came over here last night and helped her lock me out of our home. This is
Because
not
you
her
deserve it. You're acting
home.
like a freaking child,
That's
Paul.
not what you were saying yesterday. I've been at this for 8 years. I've been trying my best to cooperate
See
with
this
your
right
daughter.
here?
Stay back there.
This is my priority.
No, you treat her like she's your property.
Stupid ass phone.
No, you treat her like she's your property.
We can't be in the middle of this.
All of you
Fighting.
Let's go.
don't want me in her life. All of you are the reason why I don't have a relationship with
Your
her.
own daughter's life.
No, that's not the case. By every legal right.
We both have
See,
the right to stay
when she took me off for the lease,
problem is,
when she treated me like crap and got me away from that computer,
I can't.
I studied the law. I used my brain and studied the law. I know my legal rights in this state because you gave me more than enough time when I was walking around that street stressing about how I'm going to go to work. 2 jobs. You want me to pay you child support,
Where are
but
my
you
papers that say that you're off the lease?
that fraudulent letter right there,
What fraudulent letter?
the one where you copy my signature and sent that into the lease. Don't worry, Miss Webster. Once I get all of the information that I need, I will be taking you to court.
Okay.
I will be taking you to court.
Watch you guys discuss something. You
So-
guys need to grab your stuff and move.
No, I'm-
move it
You're
around.
perfectly capable of
Where's my computer and
your computer's there. Alex's
Make
toys.
sure you're still recording. I don't know if that's that.
Alex's toys are in her room,
no, you're fine.
and her tablet is in there because I knew you was gonna want it. So
I'm just trying to make sure that I have everything she needs.
yeah, you didn't seem to have a problem with putting me on the street, and you wasn't worried about making sure I had everything I needed. I'm just doing what a father does for his
Hey,
child.
so you're done, when you're recording this, do you like sit and watch it later?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yep.
That's kind of boring.
Move your stinky ass.
Mom, you're not helping.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm the bad guy. I know I'm the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. I have been putting up with this shit for 8 years. I have been nothing but patient with Heidi.
Oh.
But her parents keep pacifying her. They keep allowing her.
I backed your ass.
You did.
I'll never, ever.
You did. You
You'll
backed
never
me.
You'll have never a right
Yeah.
to see that baby now.
You go ahead. Because that's what you guys are doing anyway. That's what you're doing anyway. The whole point is to make sure, Heidi's objective is to make sure that I'm not in Alex's life.
No,
all
you
of the
just did
people-
that yourself.
I
You
assisted.
just now did.
I
backed your
assisted
ass.
her in making sure that she gets her way.
Really do not have time to sit.
But the reality is that that's what's going on. I mean, it's simple. If your enemy is shooting at you and your allies are helping your enemy shoot at you, your allies are your enemy. I mean, that's just the reality. If nobody is going to sit Heidi down and say, Heidi, you really should try to work with this guy. He's doing everything in his power to be a decent man. If nobody is going to say that to her, then this is ultimately where this is going to wind up. You know, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I'm sick of
Are you
it.
talking to me?
I'm rambling.
Are you narrating?
I'm rambling.
Oh.
This is what I do. I'm sure you've been into lots of apartments with people that are physically aggressive and destructive. This is what I do. I ramble. When I get upset, I just say things in a calm voice. It takes a lot for me to use profanity, but
You sure did it
you
great
know.
on the phone. I hope you recorded that one.
I did.
Good.
I did. But it took 8 years for me to start cussing at y'all. 8 years. Patience like Job.
Where did you say her tablet was?
It's in her Littlest Pet Shop Toys.
No, we have. He told me how to deal with this on Monday, so
So
I may end up getting suspended.
How long you guys lived here?
we've been here since January.
You've lived here?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've been in this apartment since January.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. 'Cause I was looking at all the calls have been like within the last.
Last few days. Because everybody told her that she had complete right to kick me out of her apartment, but she didn't inform them that this wasn't her apartment, it was our apartment. And since the standard is that guys are crap, we're just gonna go with that. So.
We're on the same page. Don't
Yeah.
step foot on my property.
I know.
You think Duke doesn't
You're
like
no
you now?
longer,
No, I
you're
know.
no longer welcome in my house.
I know. It's fine.
And when all this is said and done,
It's fine. You guys exercise all of your legal power to do whatever you want against me. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You guys have a nice night. Alex,
Yeah.
if I never see you again, I love you.
Yeah, right.
You lying sack of shit.
You love your daughter, so you lock her out of her own freaking house. Yeah, make sure you keep recording, Paul.
You locked your own daughter
Real
out of her
fucking
house.
mature.
Yep. Yep. You officers have a nice night.
All right, good night.
I appreciate you coming out here and doing your job. I really do. Let me just say something real quick. Heidi's parents are her parents. Parents back their kids no matter what. They want me to pay them $300 a month to live in their hobby room so that Heidi can hide over at their house in the morning with Alex and then come back over here at night with Alex. And I'm supposed to arrange, what's the words I'm looking for, because I'm kind of upset. I'm supposed to make arrangements so that I can spend time with Alex. Heidi's going to take she's going to take Alex over there. Then I'm going to be out on the street because I don't have access to this apartment. This is what we're supposed to be. This is me being cooperative. This is what you're going to do, Paul. You're going to not use the apartment anymore, right? So we're going to charge you $300 so you can live in our hobby room, right? And then Alex is going to be over here in school while you're at work. And then when you get off of work, what we're going to do is that you can come over there at night so Heidi can come over here and sleep here with Alex. And then you can come over there and sleep in the hobby room. So you go ahead and work your 2 jobs. And then when you come home, you can sleep here, give us $300 a month. Oh yeah, and I guess you'll have to just work it out with Miss Webster on when you'll be able to see her daughter. When you'll be able to see your daughter. Because she's the sole custodial parent. And we're not going to really have your back on helping her, give you arrangements. I can do this for the next 10 years. The next 10 years, I could be in that position. The next 5. I could have screwed everything up and we could have had this all settled tomorrow. But the reality is that I've been doing this for 8 years. And it's enough. I'm tired of this. This is corruption at its maximum. Those parents just dragged my daughter out of this apartment. Took her away from her father. And all you out there that want to look at me because I locked her out, Heidi locked me out first. I work 2 jobs. I hold down 2 jobs. I come in this house. I treat Heidi with respect. I didn't force myself on her sexually. I never disrespected her. I never cussed at her. I never talked out of my way at her. I was always respectful of her when she was around Alex, and that was not returned. Heidi goes all over the city and rambles and raves about me and destroys my character to everybody she can encounter. And I'm supposed to just sit back and just, well, that's just how it is. No, that's not how it is. That's not how the president of the bank, Paul Amerson, does things. And I know you out there, all you out there thinking that I'm extremely egotistical and don't want to invest in me. It's perfectly fine. But what I want you to realize and reflect on your own life, because you're going through the same stuff that you just saw. You know you are. The reason why you sit on your couch and drink a 40 is because that's what you don't want to have happen to you. So you need to think about exactly what you're doing with your life.